It's looking easy to take. We not afraid. We put the fear in their bones. Ain't no more running away. They tryna chase. They tryna follow our steps. They tryna copy the wave. Boy, that's your name. That's why they keep getting curved. You gotta stay in your lane. They wanna claim that we not giving them work. Like this is minimum wage.
Music licensing reimagined.
Welcome back, baby.
What's poppin', family?
It's been a minute. It has been a minute, guys. There's been a lot going on,
And
both
we'll
in my
update
life
y'all.
and in JoJo's life. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later on.
But
We're gonna jump right into it immediately. College football is back, and NFL is back. Meh, but college football is back.
he said, "Meh."
Meh. It's saving our lives right now
Oh, big
because
facts.
that time period. So that time period that we all go through, us football fans, when after
summer months.
the
summer
national championship has been played, and it's just like that dead season, that dead era. Although the Olympics did save us to a certain degree this particular year.
Yep. It doesn't happen every year.
Doesn't happen every year. So you go through that. It's what do you call it? A stalemate, a cold war. Like it's just like, what is life right now?
Yeah.
So
So in the military, we called it you're just droning. You're just kind of just going along with the flow. You got to do what you got to do from every given day, and then just you wait until September or August, September time frame. Yeah, you're in a hurry up and wait mode, and it has finally paid off because we started getting preseason games, which for me personally, the preseason games have been very enticing.
Mm-hmm.
One, because I've been watching Hard Knocks. I watched the preseason edition with the New York Giants, which if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you go watch it because this gives you an idea of how front office works, right?
Yeah.
You understand, kind of not at a rudimentary level. You understand like market cap. You understand what these scouting teams look like for these individual teams. I didn't realize that the scouting networks were that huge.
Yeah, they're massive.
And it went all the way up. Yeah, and it went all the way up to them drafting Malik Neighbors and the process that they went through to decide who they were going to draft with that. What was it? I forget when he went. Well, what they were going to do with their first round draft pick, and you actually saw like things in not live action, of course, because it's a prior recording, but you actually saw like how things happened in between draft picks and how they were going to make their decisions, and actually the plans that they went in with. Okay, if A happens, we'll move to B.
Yeah, I think the most exciting part about watching that, because I didn't watch that one, but I have watched Hard Knocks before. The most exciting part about watching Hard Knocks is, like you said, the amount of pieces that have to move and the amount of, it's like we said, the amount of kind of like hurry up and wait. So let's hurry up and make our decision.
Yeah.
But now we have to wait to see if they're going to make the decision that we expect them to make. If they do make it, then great. If they don't make it, then it's like, okay, what was your option? So I think that's why you have so many people in that office and so many people like in those rooms, because they're all trying to figure out who's going to make what decision at what time. And then every now and then you do get a monkey wrench thrown in there, and it's like, hell.
Yeah.
All right, what we got now?
I mean, like they were actually showing the GMs conversing between each other, trying to figure out what they were going to do with their draft picks. Some GMs did stuff that they said that they weren't going to do. And it's just,
of course,
it's a very intricate game. And I like how, they capped it off with they capped the offseason off, the offseason Hard Knocks version with them drafting Malik Neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they picked it up right when Caleb Williams got drafted, and the Chicago Bears are going through mini camp and training camp and all that stuff. And it's going to be and even then, it's going to transition from I cannot remember the team that's going to be. Is it the Dolphins? It's going to be followed for Hard Knocks this season.
I think it may be the Dolphins. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it may be the Dolphins.
Either way, I love the evolution that they've done with Hard Knocks because it's starting to give us more of an idea of, like I said, it's giving us a behind the curtains view of what these teams actually go through, what the season actually looks like, what practices actually look like, and all that jazz. But like I said, that was literally to help bridge the gap from what we really don't count April, because April, that's like combine, pro days, and all that stuff, or Marches, and then April is the draft, and then from literally May all the way to now, we're SOL. But like you said,
you got nothing.
The Olympics.
I went back. I literally went back and I started watching old games. Like literally started watching old old classics.
And that's what makes me appreciate Hard Knocks, is because, like I said, it helps bridge that gap. But now things are starting to get kicked up now. We are getting preseason games. And for me personally, I've been more excited watching the preseason games because a lot of the players that I had a vested interest in college are now in the league. So like Malik Neighbors, Jayden Daniels, who was officially named the starter of the Red
quarterback.
Caleb Williams, Drake May, because I'm a Patriots fan.
I can't believe sorry to cut you off. I cannot believe, and I watched it. I had to. I cannot believe. Well, I couldn't believe it when it happened in the draft.
What's that?
And now to see him on the field, I can't believe that they let Patrick Mahomes get worthy,
bruh.
And I watched him.
That hurt me.
I watched him run those. So I watched some of their practice. I watched him run those routes. Bruh, he is about to be a problem.
Bro, in their last preseason game, this most recent one, he was cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you can do nothing. He had a DB. He had a DB playing outside leverage? He had a DB playing outside leverage, right? Bro, he broke out on it looked like a seam route, but then it turned into almost like a seam fade. The DB had about 6 to 7 yards of separation with him when the play started. By the time from that time period to the time period when he caught the ball, bro, he had about 8 to 9 yards of separation on the DB. DB's looking at him, and he's like, down the field.
I don't know what to do with that.
Coach, what you want me to do with that?
Bro.
Because, come on, let's be honest. You know his pads weigh next to nothing. You know that.
Oh, yeah. They're like little...
He's pretty much out there running as if he was at the combine. Like, that's pretty much same thing he got on. And you see Patrick Mahomes just like licking his chops like this is about to be fun.
Bro, he has literally another Tyreek Hill.
Just taller.
Just taller.
That's literally what he got.
But
y'all, the 31 other NFL teams, y'all allowed this to happen.
And you know what the crazy thing is? I remember during the draft, me and you were talking about it. We were just like, I don't care what anybody does. Don't let the Chiefs get worthy. And what the hell happened?
They don't
get worthy.
First of all, they didn't need him. Like, let's just start here. Didn't need him. Allowing them to get worthy was worse than the cherry on top of the cake. It was like, y'all don't even need him.
Yeah, it was honestly like, okay, are y'all just wanting to give them a Super Bowl at this point again?
Because this was gonna happen.
Like,
because let's be real. Let's just be real. Let's put all of our biases aside.
Mm-hmm.
Name a team in this upcoming season
Uh-huh.
yes, it's a super early prediction, but name a team in this upcoming season that you truly feel like
Could give them a run for their money?
could knock them out. Not give them a run for that could knock them out of the playoffs.
I'll give you two.
Who?
First, Cincinnati.
Okay.
That's always been a tough game. It's a budding rivalry, I would say, recently. And then my kind of dark horse, but like they really aren't starting to feel like a dark horse, is Houston. Because Stroud is a problem.
Tank Dell
is a problem.
And then you got
Stephon Diggs is a problem. Stephon Diggs is a problem.
I can't agree with you on that one.
How?
Unless you have seen something with him being on the Texans that I haven't. I can't agree.
I watched the preseason game.
Okay.
He's a problem.
I give you that. I have not watched it. I have not watched.
I don't remember the other wide receiver for the life of me. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but he seemed like he's probably going to be a problem. But I don't know, bro. Something just doesn't sit well with me with Stephon Diggs. Like I
don't know why.
From watching him with Buffalo, something just does not sit well with me. Like it just doesn't.
So what I'm looking for this season is to see whether Stephon Diggs was the problem or Josh Allen was
the problem. Okay, I can agree with that. Right now, to me, I give them 50-50. They both were a problem to me because
while Josh Allen is a athletic anomaly at quarterback, he is kind of turnover prone.
And we said it last season. I think at one point his touchdown to interception ratio was 1-to-1.
Yeah, it was like neck and neck.
Yeah, for every touchdown he threw an interception, and it's like, bruh.
And all those interceptions can't be blamed on Stephon, like
no,
because you not to say you can't depend on him to get open all the time, because he does get open quite often.
He does get open,
but he's not the one throwing the ball to.
Yes. And and that's why I say I watched several of their games, and that's why I give them both equal credit. And that's why I say I'm still out. The jury is still out on Stephon Diggs for me for this up, because like you said, I'm waiting to see same thing. Josh, if Allen was the problem or if Diggs was the problem.
And
because you got a legitimate because you have a legitimate, very intelligent quarterback with the Texans right now.
You do. And I'll say one more thing that Stephon gets in Houston that he doesn't get in Buffalo. There's a carousel of other receivers that CJ Stroud focuses on.
Yes.
Stephon may be one, but he has Tank Dell. He has the guy whose name I can't remember. He has the tight end who, Lord God, I cannot remember these people's names. And the running back, I forget. I'm not even going out like I know these people's names. I remember them playing from last year. He has a
system. He has a very built. He's walked into a very well built.
He has a good supporting cast.
Yes.
Whereas in Buffalo, outside of the running back.
And
okay, you had Stephon Diggs, you had Josh Allen. I'm horrible with names tonight. The other receiver for the Buffalo Bills. There was such a disparity between Stephon Diggs' numbers and the next wide receiver's numbers.
Yeah,
but
the other wide receiver didn't start coming on until the back end of the season. But at that point, it's like,
and here in Houston, like, bro, like I said, Stephon may be one, but he doesn't have to be treated like a one.
No, right. Like, and let's be real. And let's be honest. Right now,
if y'all can remember those names, let us know in the comments below.
Right now, Tank Dell is his number one. Tank Dell is his number one, in my mind. Just because of the relationship that they have built. Tank Dell is his number one. Regardless if Tank Dell is not classified as the number one receiver. Tank Dell is his number one read.
Yeah,
for the majority of the time.
that was how it was last year until you got hurt.
Because majority of the time it's a mismatch between Tank Dell and who's ever on Tank Dell. It is a ridiculous mismatch.
Because that slot is vicious.
That's God. That slot is dead, bro. Him at that slot is deadly. Because what you gonna do? Roll the corner in to him on the slot? Okay, now
you're gonna play a nickel on him, or you're gonna play a nickel on him, which that's probably your best bet. You're gonna roll a safety down on him, which that safety's done, or you're gonna put a linebacker on him, which come on, let's not be stupid. It's over. So
you put a linebacker on him, you might as well call it a day.
But to bring this back full circle, those are the two teams that I think can really, there's really three. I know the people in the comments probably gonna have my neck for not saying this, but
God, what you about to say?
Bengals, Texans, Ravens. Those are the only three that I see giving them a run for their money. In all honesty,
I feel like we done talked about them. We don't have to talk about Cincinnati because we already know what they're capable of. We done talked about the Texans. The Ravens.
That's going to be a problem.
That's going to be a problem. That can either be a legitimate problem if it is utilized correctly, or that can be a chaotic catastrophe.
Yes. The impact is so large that it could go either way. Either way, it's going to be catastrophic.
Yeah, either way, it's going to either be catastrophically good
or catastrophic,
or it is going to go down in history as being one of the worst teams with the most potential that we have seen in a while. Because
no disrespect to Mark Ingram, right? Mark Ingram, great back.
Yeah,
he's not Derrick Henry.
Sure.
And if you understand the eyes that Derrick Henry requires, that's going to allow you to go over top.
Yes.
Because they're going to try and fill the box to stop Derrick Henry.
And we done said it time and time again. In the fourth quarter, we both played defense. And even though we stepped up to the plate, in the fourth quarter, I'm not trying to see a 220-pound running back. I'm not trying to see this nigga. I'm not trying to see this nigga coming down. Where's the fourth quarter?
Bro, let me tell you.
Tackling this nigga all day.
Bro, I remember vividly, right? I was in high school. We're playing to go to the playoffs. And, bro, there was this one fullback, white guy. It was something about him. Every time I hit him, it felt like I was hitting a brick wall.
Yeah.
Bro, there was one play where I vividly remember I was like, shit, we about to both go through the same hole again and meet each other. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I did not go as hard as I was going prior. I was like, oh my. And it was the fourth quarter. Like, the shit just gets tiring.
And for those of y'all that have never played football before, y'all not gonna understand this. But for those of you that have, I don't care how much of a man you are. I don't care how much of, gridiron, grit your teeth. You have that thought in your head where it's like, this nigga, they finna throw that. Oh, this nigga finna.
But I was like, legitimately, can somebody else come and hit this man besides me? Like, that's how I felt. But just so we don't divert too much, those are the three teams that I really see giving them a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because
I can agree with you on that. But, bruh, it's so... And I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm really not. But, bruh, Andy Reid over there and Patrick Mahomes over there, it's like, bruh, y'all, like...
Can y'all just not get a draft pick at least 1 year?
And they talking about
1 year without getting a draft pick.
They talking about Andy Reid. They talking about, oh yeah, Andy Reid, he's going to potentially be looking at retirement. Why? Why would he? Why would he?
Because he's winning too much.
Andy Reid let's be honest, and no disrespect to Andy Reid. I love Andy Reid straight up. But let's be honest. When you get a quarterback of that caliber, you no longer have to essentially coach the team. You're more so a consultant at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, Pat, let me talk to you. What you think? What you think about it? You're no longer coaching.
Bro, when I see Pat Mahomes doing a behind the back pass in a game, it's like, bro, why are you here?
Did you
They're
did
playing
you see
backup football at this
did you
point.
see the snippet as to why he said he did it?
Nah.
Okay. So he said that he threw the behind the back pass because Travis Kelce ran the wrong route. Now pause right there. What that tells me initially is that once again, Travis Kelce's out there just doing his own thing. That's what that tells me, first of all. Second of all, what that tells me is that Patrick Mahomes has the 1000% freedom to do what he feels on that field.
Okay.
And 3, he has just that much confidence in himself. This nigga is out here playing NFL Street.
Facts. God damn it, facts. Yes, he is. Jesus.
He's throwing behind the back passes. Like, bruh.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I thought it was cool, but then I immediately got tight. I was like, bro, is this what we're doing now? Like, legitimate, this is shit we doing? But
and yes, it's a preseason game. I guarantee you can sign my name to this. Something of an NFL Street situation is going to happen in the regular season. Watch and see.
He's going to do it again. If he had the balls to do it in the preseason, you know
they have officially put that in the playbook. I guarantee you. That's going to be an audible. Watch and see.
Bro, you want to know, like, during this offseason, a pleasant surprise, because I've been watching them, because we talked about Caleb Williams specifically last season when he played a defense that was disciplined, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how that was against Notre Dame. Like, he didn't look like Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
But bro, he's been looking legit. Like, I'm not even mad at it. Like, he has a great carousel of receivers.
Mm-hmm. I only watched like a little bit of their game.
Yeah, like, they just have quality depth around them, bro. Like, and the defense doesn't look bad. Granted, the defense wasn't bad like that last year. It was just Justin Fields. Like, that's a whole other situation that we don't have to talk about. But he's been a pleasant surprise. Jayden Daniels has been a pleasant surprise because it seems like he's still playing college football the way he's playing.
His not so much his ball, but just his mechanics of how it's so smooth. But his mechanics on how he throw the ball, I can't even lie. Like, it's smooth. He looks comfortable.
Bro,
he legitimately looks comfortable.
Had him for one more year. Just one.
No, y'all don't. Y'all don't need him. Y'all don't need him.
Oh yeah, okay.
He did what was best. Oh
yeah. He did what was best for him. Selfishly, I wish we could have had him for one more season.
Y'all don't need him.
Our defense looks.
I'm saying that as a Bulldogs fan. Y'all don't need him. Let him go.
Let that man go. Don't want to see him.
Exactly. Let his ass go the way he needs to go.
So, bro, you know a team I haven't had a chance to watch play yet? It'll be kind of interesting because we can segue from NFL to college football doing this, but haven't seen much of the Jim Harbaugh Chargers.
Don't want to see him.
I don't either, because if they're going to do what they did in Michigan, I'm going to be bored to death, and I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to see him.
I don't want to just watch you run the ball.
Justin Herbert. Ain't this his name? Justin Herbert, right?
Yeah, Herbert.
It's something about just that team that does not interest me.
Bro, stop it. You know, it's Jim Harbaugh. You know it's Jim Harbaugh. Because he's the only... It's Jim Harbaugh.
Is it? No, it is.
For me, it is. I don't care for him. I don't care for him.
And it was funny how... Well, back to Herbert. It's going to be interesting to see how Herbert's growth or decline happens with Harbaugh being there.
Yes, that will be interesting because
that's going to be interesting.
You know what he likes to do? He likes to run the ball.
Yes, Harbaugh, and then with that, you have a quarterback that came from Oregon that loves to throw the ball, and y'all just paid him.
Quite good at it.
And y'all just paid
a grip.
buttload of money. So
you either gonna pay him to hand the ball off, or
Harbaugh is going to have to change his whole offensive mindset.
Yeah, it's one of
Because
those two
once
going to
again,
have to happen.
Because you're in the NFL now, buddy.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a team in the NFL that is a predominantly running team.
Bro, the closest thing we saw to that was Baltimore a couple years back.
And I think the
When
Titans
Lamar just started.
I think the Titans too. Those are the only two teams that I saw
Only
that was
two.
like a heavy run team.
And
yeah, it
clearly
got
saw
you
that
to
that
like the
wasn't gonna
first
do it.
round of the playoffs or something, and then after that, it was like
It was a wrap.
so
Because they're not a complete team. Man, you know what? So funny that we bring up Harbaugh, right? He was supposed to go back to Michigan for the opening game to be like applauded and all that stuff.
Yeah, hey, look at me.
Said no, we're not doing that. Because
he said no?
Either he said no or Michigan said, nah, don't do it.
Somebody said no.
Somebody said no.
Somebody said no.
Because I'd be damned if I win a national championship at my alma mater and I don't go back to be acknowledged for winning that national championship.
You better hope I come back and I won't be streaking.
Facts. I don't show my natural black ass. But
what?
I
have every right to do so.
You have every right to do so. And it was amazing to see that they were like, nah, you don't need to do that. All because of the NCAA finally came out with their ruling in regards to the whole sign stealing and the Connor Stallions BS that took place.
Don't get me wrong, plausible deniability at its finest. But bruh.
But
don't sit up here and play in our faces.
Sorry to cut you off. This is where I have the issue, right? And I wasn't able to find his. I know the NCAA came out with it. I just can't find it.
Yeah.
But this is where I have the issue with Harbaugh saying that he did not have any knowledge of it. Okay. In the and I know this isn't military civilian world. It's not the same thing. But leader is a leader, regardless.
Period.
As a leader, you are responsible for everything that your people do and or fail to do. Even if you don't know about it, you're still held accountable for it because you are the figurehead. You know what I'm saying?
Should know.
You should know, even if you don't know. So that right there tells me that you should have some sort of responsibility in regards to the punishment that came out. Now, in regards to Sharon Moore, right? He should get a full brunt of this punishment because he was actively using the information that Connor Stallions had, that Connor Stallions gave him.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
I had a conversation with the same convo, specifically Carlil, and he was telling me that essentially, this is just paraphrasing what he said. I don't want to misrepresent him, but essentially that them knowing the play does not help as much as what everybody thinks in regards to them getting to a national championship. And this is my argument. All right, let's say Michigan isn't as athletic as Ohio State, right? Me knowing the play, that will negate the gap of athleticism that we have between each other because I know where you're going. If I know where you're going, I can do what I need to do to plug that hole, Yeah. If it's a run in the B gap, okay, I'll plug the B gap. Where are you going to bounce it out at? If you bounce it out, I'll have somebody there just in case.
Yeah, because let's not fiddle ourselves. We know. Yes, Ohio State is typically more athletic than Michigan, but they're both high Power 5 D1 athletes. The disparity between athleticism overall on the field is not that much.
It's not.
It's not that much. Okay, yeah, this guy may run a 4.7. Okay, this guy may run a 4.4. But if I know where you're going,
That
and I
4.47 don't matter. I
it
just gotta make
don't
the play.
matter
I just gotta make the
where
play
you
at that point.
going. So yes, it played a big role because you got punished for it.
Fact.
It's illegal. And it's illegal. Why? Because like what you said. Knowing the plays of another team, it negates the disparity between the athleticism that's put out there on the field.
Yeah, and I know people will say, or one of the things Khalil was saying was that sign stealing happens throughout football. I don't disagree.
I don't either.
During the game, if you're using the same signs and I see what's happening, then okay, cool. Like,
That's your bad.
It's on you. It's on you
Yeah,
for not making in-game adjustments. But there's a stark difference between that and what Michigan did. Or what Connor Stallions did. Let me not say Michigan. What Connor Stallions representing Michigan did.
Connor Stallions of Michigan.
Did. You know what I'm saying? And then it looked even worse when they allowed him to celebrate with the team after the national championship. It was pretty much like, fuck all y'all. We cheated. Y'all know we cheated. What you gonna do with us?
End of discussion. We cheated. Y'all know we cheated. We won the national championship by cheating because you brought up a good point, and it was on one of our older videos. And like I said, you keep up with recruiting and history as far as regarding the games more than I do. There was a very distinctive turning point in Michigan football that was blatantly obvious to everybody that had been watching football. And you brought it up. You was like, bro, if you go back and if you look at Michigan when they started beating Ohio State.
Yeah.
It was like, and then that tied into the same time frame in which Stallions started the sign stealing. And you go look at the record of when they had him on camera and when the other people were coming out saying, oh yeah, he paid me to go to do this and he paid me to go do that. And it's like, okay, the timelines are starting to
shit looking funny out here. And this is another thing that I brought up during our conversation. I was like, if y'all were so good, right? I didn't even mention this past season. I was talking about the season prior. I said, if y'all were so good, why did y'all have a problem with TCU?
Because
y'all didn't have any information on them. So that tells me that if you don't have information on them, then you're effed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the worst national championship game happened right after that.
I saw it today.
And that is what ruined the the previous playoff setup. That one game.
Yeah.
Georgia against TCU.
Because people were pissed off.
Let's be honest. People want to say TCU. Yeah, people want to say, oh, TCU shouldn't have been there. And they said TCU beat Michigan.
They beat them. They earned the right to be there.
They earned the right to be there.
They weren't the best.
So y'all didn't have film on TCU. So by not having film on TCU, showed TCU gave y'all that.
Yeah.
And then when it got waxed.
If y'all would have beat TCU and went to Georgia, y'all would have got mollywopped. So
it'd been the same.
But you know what? That's in the past. Michigan, they won the national championship. We're on to a new
asterisk.
And we are excited because
They not
College
winning one this.
football is
They
back.
not winning one this year. I'm gonna just say that. But go ahead.
Hell no. I'll be surprised if they win the Big Ten. I really would.
Oh yeah, I would too.
I'm not even going to go there.
Don't.
Like I was saying, man, football's back. I'm excited. College football is going to be in full swing next week. Shoot, some of the big games I'm looking forward to: Clemson versus Georgia, Texas A&M versus Notre Dame, and of course, them Bayou Bengals playing USC in Las Vegas. I'm looking forward to that.
That is gonna. That
It's funny.
game.
Like, I saw a meme, and we were talking about it in pre-production. I saw a meme. It was of Matt Leinart, and I'll post it up here. But it was of Matt Leinart, and he was saying that we're finally in that point of the year where my happiness, where college football will dictate my happiness for the next 4 months.
Oh, facts.
Because
Facts.
let me tell you, a Saturday, like,
when y'all niggas play, y'all play on Sunday,
bro. We play Sunday, prime time, baby. Only game. We need to break this first game of the year losing streak because we're on a 3-year losing streak. But my thing is, bro, like, and you can testify to this, but when your team loses on a Saturday,
you screwed.
You got to hear people just talking,
screwed,
funny shit until the next game.
And don't let them lose. So let me ask you this: what's worse? Because I know. Because to me, I'm gonna answer after I ask you.
Okay.
After you give your answer, what's worse? Your team playing early on that Saturday and losing, or your team losing that Saturday night?
Okay, so for me personally, one, I don't want my team to lose, but yeah, it is what it is.
And I'm gonna include the so let me say this: the 12 or 3 p.m. game, your team loses. Okay. Or that primetime 6:30 game, your team loses.
I would much like if I'm thinking about it, I would much rather my team lose in that morning, that like the 12 o'clock Central Standard Time game. I would much rather that happen.
Because there's so many other games coming on, I got time to recover.
Because I would much rather it happen during that game cycle, because if my team is losing, I'll just cycle on and go watch another game. Right? 6:30?
It's the only game.
It's the only game. Like, you are shit out of luck.
You are rare. You are
Sunday,
dead locked.
So Sunday, what?
Mm-hmm.
When
you're gonna be tight.
Don't talk to me.
You're gonna be tight.
If they're losing, do not talk to me.
You're gonna be tight.
Because you know how I get. You know how I get when it comes to LSU. If they lose, do not talk to me. I will be the most disrespectful individual you have come across.
You're gonna be so tight. You would be so tight. But if they lose, you're gonna be so. Especially if they lose against USC. I don't think they will though. Like, they better not. I'm gonna say I'm not an LSU fan, because I am somewhat of an LSU fan, even though of course my team is obviously Georgia. But I don't have an issue with LSU. But if LSU is losing against, I'm gonna be pissed, because I don't like USC just that much.
I don't like Lincoln Riley. But you know, the one thing that I can rest my head on is the fact that we don't have Florida's schedule.
Bro, speaking of which.
You know, before you go there, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say, because y'all, okay, first of all, look, I understand we are a small channel. Thank you. I appreciate all the subscribers that we have, the 1,114 subs that we have. Thank you. But I vividly remember when off season started and the schedule kind of dropped. You and I were like the first ones to talk about how this gauntlet that they got to go through is about to be ugly. How, me personally, I wouldn't even count this year for Billy Napier if they lose, because this is ridiculous what they have to go through. I feel bad for them, and I hate the Gators. I hate them.
Was last month or the month before when the first video, but when the first video that I saw dropped, and they were like, Florida has the worst schedule of the Power Five.
Oh, it was during the SEC media days.
And Florida has, Florida's schedule is this. And so then I'm like, all right, we said that. I'm gonna let it go, let it roll off, let it roll off my back, water off a duck's back.
But then everybody started saying
and then it popped up again. And I'm like, all right, a little bit of a sting, but I'm gonna let it go. And then it popped up again. I'm like, all right.
I was tight.
And I got punched in the ribs and the kidney at this point. And then it popped up again and again and again. And once again, I'm like, I know damn well y'all ain't playing, and y'all are not playing in Limitless face like this. Because we said this immediately when the schedules dropped.
Facts.
And for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, I have it pulled up. So, Florida opens up with Miami. Then they got Samford.
That's a tough game because Miami's going to be vicious this year.
Miami's going to be hell. Then they got Samford. Okay, that should be an easy one. And then they got A&M. That's not going to be an easy game. Then they got Mississippi State. Now, although Mississippi State is not ranked currently, I don't think that's going to be an easy one. Then they got UCF. That's never an easy game.
Nope.
Then they got Tennessee. Okay, so after week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So week 5, I'm putting them at, let's see, 1, 3. I'm going to give them 3-2 through 5 weeks.
But then they got to play Georgia.
But then, and oh God, then is when the gauntlet.
November.
They got Tennessee. Then they got Kentucky. Then they got Georgia. Then they got Texas. Then they got LSU. Then they got Ole Miss. And then they cap off the season with Florida damn State.
Son.
Out of their remaining games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of their remaining games, I only see them potentially winning. I'm not even going to cap. I only see them winning 1, and that's against Kentucky.
And I'll be surprised if they beat Kentucky.
I'll be surprised if what?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a
Bro, I'm convinced that whoever is the schedule makers for
somebody pissed them off. Somebody at Florida stole their girlfriend a long time ago.
Someone pissed somebody off somewhere down the line because, bro, no other team has a schedule like that.
Like, so I got Georgia's schedule pulled up, for instance. Georgia got Clemson, Tennessee Tech, Kentucky, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas, Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Georgia Tech. Georgia has a decent schedule, but the games are spread out.
Cakewalk, how y'all been cakewalking?
No, hell no. Georgia has a hard schedule throughout the course of the entire season.
Yeah. But nothing's like a back end nothing has a back end like that. It's about to be scary.
I don't know if Florida is going.
It's about to be scary. It really is. Like I don't like feeling bad for teams because look, it's a sport. But bro, this is the first time I ever felt bad for a team because, bro, I wouldn't wish that schedule on my worst enemy.
No, hell no. And for those of y'all that are saying like, oh, Florida this and the third, we're saying Florida has the worst schedule and the hardest schedule. Not even though so much because of them being in the SEC, but it's because Florida has not been a good team over the course of several years.
Yeah, they've been
so for them to have this schedule with that team that they got over there, that's terrible.
So
It's not good.
I think what makes this schedule as horrible as it is the back end. So if it was spread out more evenly, it'll be okay.
They would be. They would,
It'll be tough, but you got to take into account. Okay, you're facing top 25. Let's say top 15.
you're
right?
facing top 15 talent.
Their
That your
whole
last 7
minus
games.
Minus Kentucky.
Minus Kentucky. Your last 7 games.
And we know from experience of watching the SEC, experience watching football, but you see it more predominant in the SEC.
Yeah.
They cannibalize themselves the whole season.
Even teams that are not ranked will give your ass a L.
Yeah, so if you think that you're going to have the same players that you had in the beginning of the season, like injuries just don't happen, you're sadly mistaken. So it could get very ugly very fast. Hell, it could honestly end up where Bill Napier isn't the head coach.
Because Florida has not, and like I said before, Florida has not had consistently good team over the last few years. Which that is what makes this even worse. If Florida had a consistent winning consistently winning seasons over the last few years, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
But they hadn't. And most of your players that have been part of those sorry ass seasons are still there.
Unfortunately, yes, they are.
Unfortunately. So now they gotta go and they gotta look at the schedule and be like, ain't this some shit? Bruh, I didn't sign up for this. Can you imagine? Okay. Can you imagine being a freshman on Florida's team and you've been a freshman and had sorry season? You've been a sophomore, they've had a sorry season. You've been a junior, they've had a sorry season. And now you're a senior. If you've chosen to stay there all 4 years. And you walk in the film room or you walk in the game room, or no, let's just say you're sitting in your dorm room or wherever you hang out at. And that schedule drops. What is your first I don't give a damn what nobody say. Your first reaction is not, oh hell yeah, nigga, we got this.
The first word that's gonna come out of my mouth is just keeping it a bean with you. I'm just saying, bro, that is rough, man. Like, I don't think people truly appreciate how tough that is, bro. I really don't.
Hey, no, bro. Hey, no. Hey, this is worse because it's the SEC.
That's what makes it worse, bro. Like, why would you do that to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if LSU was given that schedule, I'll be tight. So I'm glad we don't have it.
You would be tight, but LSU has a really good team.
They have the capability to handle it.
To handle the schedule.
You know what I think makes it worse is that Florida is such an unknown that it looks that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to talk bad on Graham Mertz, but we didn't really do anything noteworthy last year. You know what I'm saying? But I digress.
It's bad, and I'm gonna leave it alone after this. They are an unknown, but it's bad because if you look at Florida's body of work the past few seasons, it's like
they shoot themselves in the own foot.
Bro, I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody say. Somebody that does these schedules, whether they let AI do it or not, whoever is in control of this scheduling had to have had their girlfriend stolen by a Florida player. Or something.
That schedule to Vanderbilt or Kentucky, a cellar dweller. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody.
Nah, we're gonna give it to Florida.
We're gonna give it to Florida.
We know Billy Napier's on the hot seat, so we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him to Florida.
A nigga is trying to get his get back. That's why he did. I don't care what. This is a get back move, bro. I don't care what nobody say.
So now, question with the top 25, not top 25, but with college football coming, it's right around the corner. Like I said, it's gonna be here next week in full swing, and we have the 12-team playoff, right? Yeah. So for those of you who do not know, The first 5 slots go to the conference champions. The highest ranking 4 of the conference champions get a first round bye. And the 5th, along with the other 12, or the 5th along with 6 through 12, play in the first round. And whoever's the higher ranking in those individual games they'll play it at their home stadium, essentially. Yeah. I think it'll be too much for us to talk about like who we think will be the top in the 12, because that's just too much. But I think it'll be interesting to talk about who we think will be the top 5, because we got ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, and I want to say it's the Group of 5 school as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, me personally, I can see Miami winning.
Yeah.
The ACC.
The ACC.
SEC, that's a toss-up, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's either going to be Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, LSU, or Missouri. And
I'm looking at it right now.
5 teams. So I can't be a homer. I could see Georgia winning it.
With that one,
Carson Beck is a beast.
With that one, so I 1000% agree with you with Miami. That's on the ACC. The SEC, I could see. Let me see. The SEC, I could see either in, of course, Georgia. And it's just because of looking at the full body of work. But outside of Georgia, I'm not even going to lie, bro. As much as it pains me to say this to a certain degree, bro, and them being a newcomer, I could honestly see Texas. Not even going to lie.
I don't know.
Potentially, if Texas has reloaded, I can see Texas. And the only reason I'm not saying Alabama, because I feel like Alabama, to a certain degree, is still a given. Like they could take it, they could take it as well. So Miss is kind of up in the air for me.
Yeah, I mean, so the reason why I didn't include Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say they aren't talented, because they're an uber talented team. They went to the semifinals last year. It's the simple fact that they haven't had to go through the weekly gauntlet that is the SEC. Yeah, they beat Alabama last year, but that was the only team of note
and
that
people
played in the SEC.
And people don't understand. And people always talking about, oh, well, it just, the little saying, well, it just means more and this, then the third. You don't. For those of us that watch the SEC, for those of us that are a part of the SEC, you don't truly understand that gauntlet and that body of work that goes into. Don't get me wrong. Let me preface this by saying I know every conference has, a body of work that they go through, and this, that, and third. But the SEC has the SEC has the most complete teams out of every conference.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can take a low cellar dweller SEC team and have them go up against whomever.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not lose. They may not win it, but they for damn sure give them a hell of a game.
Yeah.
We done seen it happen.
Yeah.
So, and those guys are just built different that have been in the SEC. No matter where they've come from, they're part of the SEC now, and they've had to go through this body of work. They've had to reprogram their minds and reprogram their bodies to deal with this gauntlet week in and week out, week in and week out. There's really no fluff. There's really no fluff games, and even if there is one or two, whatever you want to call it, you still out there going to work. And it's offense, it's defense, and it's special teams. It's all three aspects of the game. Whereas when you look at other games, when you look at other games in other conferences, those games turn into shootouts. There's no defense. The score is 55-42, They ain't no goddamn defense. None.
You're right.
So that's the only reason why, and like I said, that's the only reason why I can see Texas if they've reloaded. But it's going to be interesting to see Texas and Oklahoma be like, okay, we got to go through this gauntlet now. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, and no, I agree, man. So in the Big Ten, I could see either Ohio State or Oregon. I don't see Michigan. Big 12, I feel like Big 12 is pretty clear cut for me with Kansas State. Like,
let me see: Virginia, Utah, UCF, Texas Tech, TCU, Oklahoma State.
What league?
Utah, Big 12.
They're Big 12 now?
Yeah, Big 12.
I still see Kansas State because
looking at all of the teams that are currently in the Big 12, yeah, definitely Kansas State. I don't see nobody else beating Kansas State.
Yeah. And then the last one,
as much as you know, go Cougs, bullshit. No.
And the last team to round up the 5, at least in my personal list, is probably going to be, with it being group of 5. Ooh, I'll probably say Tulane.
Tulane
or App State, one of those two. I mean, you got App State, you got Liberty, you got Tulane. Yeah, those are really the ones that come to mind for me, honestly.
I can't disagree with you on that one.
Because there's not that much disparity. Like, there's not one that's like really setting itself away from the pack. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give it to Tulane. I don't see no. I can't disagree with you on that one just because I don't see anybody beating Tulane. Maybe Memphis? Maybe. Yeah, that's maybe.
But you know, Memphis is always liable to drop a game at some point.
This is true.
Last year, they were entertaining last
year. Which is when we saw the mock-up of the 12, and I immediately, people are gonna be like, "You're such a Notre Dame hater." I immediately saw Notre Dame, and I was like, "They're not gonna be there."
Bro, I'm so tired of seeing Notre Dame. I really am, because it's not. It's
as much as I hate. I'm not gonna say hate. As much as I dislike USC,
there you go,
and a few other teams, but as much as I dislike USC. Notre Dame, and I say this time and time again, every time we talk college football, Notre Dame is the only college football team that they try to hand the national championship to every damn year.
They give them a
disregarding Nick Saban's hell of a run. Yeah. Disregarding Georgia's run, disregarding Ohio State's run, even though they're cheaters, disregarding Michigan,
even though they're cheaters,
like disregarding Texas, disregarding all of these other schools, they try to hand Notre Dame the national championship at the beginning of the season every year.
Every year.
It's like,
what did you think this was, man?
And then they go and get their ass drugged. And then they're working on a rebuild. They're working on a goddamn rebuild for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Bro.
People should have realized, and I'm gonna go some years back. People should have realized that Notre Dame was not what they thought Notre Dame was when Notre Dame got drugged.
When Brian Kelly was there.
Yeah. Notre Dame got, and this is no shot at Brian Kelly. This is a complete shot at Notre Dame.
That's my coach.
When Notre Dame ran over 3 under in and out by Alabama in that national championship game. That's when people should have realized right then and there that there's a different level of football being played.
Facts.
End of discussion. So yeah, needless to say, your boys here at Limitless, we are excited about this upcoming season.
Beyond
excited. But with that comes change, and that change is this. Your boy Vaughn, I will be missing, unfortunately, the vast majority of this
This
season.
nigga gonna be going, y'all. Just stop sugarcoating it. He's leaving. He is going to the military. He said, "F me."
I'm going to the United
F this
States Navy.
and he said, "You know what? I'm about to go better myself and go serve this country." Whore, you know, and I respect it. Why? Because I served for 12 years. It is what it is.
This is
now.
I ain't serving for that damn long though. That's hell no.
Watch.
I'm not serving for that long.
Watch. 4 years going to become 8, and then at that point you may as well just be like, I'm staying until retirement. So, look,
He's going on the back end.
He is going to be sorely missed. But with that being said, we still got to do what we got to do here with the podcast. So,
yes,
things are going to change a little bit. We're going to have some guest appearances.
There will be several more collaborations going on.
There are going to be collaborations. We're going to keep the podcast going. I know we have been a spot inconsistent the past month. A lot of issues.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're back. And all we want y'all to do is, pray for Vaughn because he's going up to Chicago. He's shipping off on the... Do you want me to say the date? Or you don't care?
I'm leaving on the 9th of September.
Yeah, he's shipping off.
So up until then, y'all going to be getting a hell of a lot of content.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving on the 9th of September. I will be gone. I will be on a 10-week hiatus.
Yeah.
Because I'll be in basic. So I won't have my phone. Yeah, putting foot to ass. I won't have my phone. I won't have my computer.
They're going
yeah. And after boot camp,
you'll be free at that point.
I will be in A school, so I will have my laptop. So y'all will see this glorious face
without the hair.
I will not without the hair. God, without the hair, without the facial hair, I'm goddamn baby faced in it.
I am so ready to cut your hair. It's not even funny.
It's gonna be so interesting. But I will be back and so somewhere around mid-November we'll return to the podcast.
Look, he's gonna miss the whole football season. So
just shut up.
If Georgia loses, I know he's not gonna have his phone. I'm going to leave him voice messages. I'm gonna leave him FaceTime messages.
I hope he loses service. I really hope you lose service. I
got Wi-Fi.
Hope you get disconnected. But yeah, after that, in A school, I'll be back on my laptop, having these discussions and ready to chew JoJo ass out for blowing up my phone if Georgia loses. But if LSU loses, baby, I am going on a rant out of this world.
Well, guess what? If they lose, it's been like every other year because we've lost every year.
It don't matter, but it still hits you all the same.
I'm gonna still be pissed. What do you mean? Like, it's still
that's what I'm saying. It still hits you the same when they lose. It doesn't matter.
If y'all lose and we lose on the same week, I don't want to hear ish from you.
We just negate it. It just cancels out. It just cancels out. But yeah, say a prayer for me. Say a prayer for my family because they will still be here in Texas while I'm up in Chicago. But thank God that I'll be in Chicago and it won't be freezing cold while I'm in basic. It's only gonna start to get ridiculously cold while I'm in A school, which I'm fine with that because I got the.
You get up there in September. You're in basic for 10 weeks.
Yeah,
if you don't think it's about to get brick up there.
Oh, it's gonna get brick, but I'm gonna be on the back end of it though, so I'm good. I'd rather get up there on the back end and get up there in Midwestern, which I don't. Why the fuck do they call it the Midwest? I really want to know that. Like, why do you call it the Midwest?
It's in the West. It's in the middle of the country in the West.
It's up north.
If you split the country in thirds, it's in the Midwest. It's in the middle.
Split it in thirds.
I'm telling you. if you split it into thirds,
Why are you splitting it into thirds?
I'm telling
Why
you.
you just split it in, north, south, east, east, west?
Look, we
And
appreciate y'all. We just pray for them.
I'm gonna let y'all have
I'm
it.
not having these conversations.
Let y'all have it.
You know what I'm saying? But
split it into thirds.
Look, thank y'all. If y'all rock with the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell for post notifications, and you'll be locked in with every time we go live, every time we drop content, whether it be shorts, long form, whatever. And follow us on all our social media so we can get turned up there as well. Without further ado, y'all, deuces,
y'all. I'm looking up. I want to know what's called Midwest. Sorry.
this.